Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 25th edition of LM's Weekly Wrap, our weekly program to cover the market related developments. It's been a very busy week of sorts. There has been a lot of anxiety in the markets to start off with this week. There was a lot of data which was expected during the week, both from the domestic markets as well as the international markets. In the international markets, the data which was being looked forward to was the US inflation data, which is very important, the employment related numbers. And for the domestic market, there was a start of the earnings season. So we had the IT companies declare their numbers. There was a lot of skepticism, anxiety, but I think the first wave of the first round of IT numbers have been pretty satisfying. The commentary has been pretty satisfying. So I think markets can go into the next week with some amount of confidence as far as data is concerned. With me is Jash. He'll be briefing us about the international developments as well as the domestic developments, which will be followed by the sectoral outlook from my side. So welcome, Jash.
Thank you, sir.
And kindly take it ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great to be back, and as usual, I'm going to start with the Nifty levels. Nifty has been swinging by 500 points approximately. We have seen the lows at 17,800 and the highs at 18,200. It has been a volatile week. There have been positive and negative news inflows. But I'm going to concentrate on the recent data from the US, that is the CPI data. It is a very good data. There's a lot of comfort over there. It is at low since October 21. So that will definitely lead the Feds to go from hawkish to dovish stance, which is good for the market. The investor going to cheer that, and also I feel a very eventful next 2 to 3 weeks are going to start for the US markets as the earnings season start from today, and that will lead where the US markets go. And also coming to the Chinese market, the reopening of the China has taken a leap, and there's a lot of investment, cheer and investment inflows in the market, as the valuations of the Chinese companies are at a low and very compelling.
Yes.
So that's another reason why we are seeing FIs pulling out of India and putting in China, because the valuations are definitely more favorable. But with the China's hush policy, we don't really know where the economy stands, and only time can tell us as what the COVID scenario is over there, and what actually I think the very ambitious target of 5.5% GDP growth over there. So only time can tell us. But I'm sure we also are poised. The domestic markets are poised to see growth as the data points are coming in very favorable for the Indian economy. The inflation data of India has also been very favorable as the food prices have lowered this quarter. Coming to the tax collections, I feel there is a record amount of tax collection this year, about at 14.7 trillion rupees, because of higher income tax filings this year. Also, the target of the government, the budgetary target of government of the collection is going to be, we're going to far achieve it and earn more, which also makes the government very comfortable to have their spendings increase. So that is definitely a plus point for our infrastructure and all other related sectors with that. With this, I close my comments on the international and domestic market. I will hand over to Nirav, sir.
Thank you, Jash. So as rightly pointed out, tax collections have been buoyant, and whenever the tax collections are buoyant, it definitely has a positive impact on the economy. But I think more of that for some other time. But we'll start off with the sectoral outlook. This week we had the start of the Auto Expo. The Auto Expo is being held after a gap of 3 years, and a lot of companies have highlighted their products. The focus is more on electric vehicles, and at the same time we have Maruti, which has launched 2 SUVs. Maruti has made it very clear that they want to achieve number 1 position in the SUV market by FY24. So this, I think, the competition is going to heat up
Correct.
with Mahindra and Mahindra,
Tata.
Hyundai, all these players, and
Yeah.
Tata, of course, being a very dominant players in the SUV space. So
I think this clearly shows a consumer preference shift from sedans to
Yes,
SUVs,
yes,
and that is what the largest automaker has to make the shift as well.
Yes. So Maruti has indicated that there has been a rapid shift in the preference of the consumers or buyers towards the SUVs. So in a way, the texture of the auto market is changing in the country. So I think, of course, this is about the Auto Expo, but incidentally, one of the biggest gainers of this week was Tata Motors on account of the strong JLR sales and the strong JLR order book, that is Jaguar Land Rover order book. And the second biggest gainer of this week was Mahindra and Mahindra. So it just shows that auto stocks have been performing quite well. Another sector which did quite well this week was the metal space. I think in metals sector has been clearly boosted by the developments in China. China reopening acts as a very big boost for the metal space. We are seeing strong gainers in the form of Hindalco, Vedanta, Tata Steel, which are big gainers as far as this week is concerned. There is optimism in the market that steel prices may recover in the domestic market. Our channel checks have indicated that the dealers are hinting that the prices have started inching upwards already in the market, and there is some expectation that prices may go up by approximately 3,000 rupees per ton during the next 3 months. Now, whether this fructifies or not is something which remains to be seen, because sometimes company announce these price hikes which is not absorbed by the buyers, and then there is a price rollback too. So whether this fructifies or not is something which remains to be seen. The third important sector which has performed quite well this week is the IT sector, and I think it's been a pullback of sorts for the IT sector. We had initial skepticism whether the IT sector would be able to perform, but I think we had first number which was announced by TCS. TCS was a revenue beat, it was a margin miss, and with a few deductions in the employee additions, I think that kind of made the market nervous about TCS. But I think overall still the body language looks quite positive as far as TCS is concerned. Yesterday we had the numbers of Infosys. Infosys has hiked its revenue guidance, whereas it has maintained or retained its margin guidance. So I think again, with order wins being at a 8-quarter high at 3.3 billion during the last quarter, that is what has given markets a lot of hope and optimism. So Infosys also recovered in trade today, and the third is HCL Technologies, which we felt was a slightly weaker set of numbers, relatively weaker set of numbers. Tomorrow we have the results of HDFC Bank and DMart. Today we have Wipro. So I think a lot of whole host of numbers expected as far as the IT pack is concerned. So will give us an idea. But 4 results which have been announced have been pretty decent till now. As far as valuations are concerned, I think TCS trades at 31 times trailing 12 months, Infosys at around 28 times, 26 times for HCL Technologies. Wipro is the weakest in the pack as it trades at 17 times trailing 12 months P. So I think that's the update on the software side of the business. As far as the weaker sectors, weak performers of this week is concerned, we had pharma. Pharma was under tremendous pressure in this week. We saw a lot of stocks correcting in trade because there is news flow that exports have been on the declining trajectory. So pharma was generally weak in the market, and we saw weakness in banking. Although banking made an attempt to recover today, but private sector banking was particularly weak during the last 1 week. Overall, to sum up, I think the losers of this week, we saw Reliance was under tremendous pressure in this week. It was consistently losing during the week. Titan was losing during the week. Axis Bank was weak, particularly during this week. and we saw Asian Paints also under some sort of pressure. So it's been a kind of a mixed week, but today I think the developments in the market has given us a lot of reason to cheer. We are seeing good momentum starting to build up in cement stocks too. Ultratech Cement was a big gainer in trade, and we are seeing the infrastructure stocks also bounce back. So L&T has gained in trade. And as far as the theme stocks are concerned, I think the railway stocks continue to perform very well. We had strong order wins by Rail Vikas Nigam Limited, Railtel Limited. These stocks these companies have won good orders recently. And as far as LM's weekender stocks are concerned, we had a wonderful week as far as the two stocks, Schneider Electric and Salzer Electronics were concerned. Both of these stocks made new 52-week highs. They made new all-time highs. And we had TRIL, that is Transformers and Rectifiers, which achieved its target during the week. In a very short span of time, the stock has achieved its target price. We like stocks like Vascon Engineers, and we like a few themes like hosiery sector in particular, where valuations look pretty much compelling. So we like the stocks like Dollar Industries, Rupa and Company, Lux Industries, where valuations are looking quite compelling at the moment. I think a lot of many things to discuss, but time constraints do not permit us. We hope that you liked our edition of LM's weekly wrap, and I think I'll hand over to Jash for the concluding remarks. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I think it was a very eventful session right now with a lot of data as the earnings week has begun. But if you want to continue to hear from us, please like, share, and subscribe. Your feedback is valuable. And also download our app InvestSmart for more updates on our calls. Thank you.
Thank you.